Welcome to this week's edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm your host, Mark Colachico, the Director of Media Relations here at Western Oregon University. I'm joined today by head baseball coach Kellen Walker. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Talk a little bit about the season. You guys started out in Southern California. You got your first win down at Point Loma, your alma mater, and then you kind of rolled from there, taking 5 out of 8 series in GNAC play en route to a second-place finish, and then you cruised into the conference championship tournament. But talk a little bit about the regular season first of all for you guys.
Yeah, back in late January, we sat here and talked, and we put together a very competitive schedule and went down and battled some tough teams and didn't come away with too many wins. So it was a tough start to this season. The thing that I give our guys a lot of credit for is what they did after that, because not only with the 3 first weekends down in California, but then right after that we hopped back on the road and went over to LC State, playing another phenomenal team who's getting ready to start the World Series, and was able to split that series, and then from there started playing pretty well. After that start, we went 27-13 down the back end of the season. So I give our guys a lot of credit and our entire coaching staff a lot of credit for continuing to stay with their daily work and not detouring from the plan, and at the end they were rewarded.
And talk a little bit about that reward at the end. You guys were able to capture the GNAC tournament title, extending your streak to 14 straight, either a regular season title or a conference tournament title. But, you guys dropped the first game to NNU and then came back to win the final 3 en route to bringing home the trophy. What was the mindset during that tournament for you guys?
Our guys made it a big deal, which was important and something that we talked about. Billings played really, really well down the stretch, and so going over there in their yard, we knew it was going to be a challenge. And then you look at the fact that we played NNU 7 times in the last 2 weeks. I mean, you play somebody that many times, it becomes challenging on both ends. But we went over there and we were able to play pretty well and basically just scrapped our way to some wins. It wasn't always pretty. Like you mentioned, we dropped that first one at NNU. We got a very good outing out of Garrett Alvarez and struggled to score runs a little bit, but bounced back nicely, won that night game against Montana State Billings, and then put together 2 good games against NNU on that second day.
And you talked about how the guys really, took this upon themselves. You had 13 seniors that were stepping onto the field during that championship tournament for the final time. How important were they really to that title run?
Oh, it was key. I mean, even some guys that during the season maybe didn't get a ton of time, took advantage of some opportunities that they get. Getting a spot start with Austin Hamilton, getting in the lineup at first base and put together a good last 3 games of the tournament. And, some other guys as well. Christian Morrison had a phenomenal outing, throwing 3 innings at the tail end of that final championship game. And he had never gone more than 2 innings since he'd been here, so it was cool to see him rise up to that occasion and have some success. So, they were definitely crucial, and up and down the roster, there were contributions from everybody.
And then you get away from the field and you look at the postseason accolades that have rolled in. You had 10 players, first of all, that were on the all GNAC team. Jesse Pratt was pitcher of the year. Brady Miller was freshman of the year. You had 5 first-teamers, 4 second-teamers, and an honorable mention. Talk about that core of guys really that really made up the team. And you have people such as Matt Taylor, Garrett Harpole, Jesse Pratt, as we mentioned, as pitcher of the year, Nathan Etheridge. those guys were really key mainstays for you throughout the year, defensively.
Absolutely, and it was, with some of the things that maybe we didn't do so well. One of the things that we did well this year was defend it, and so, like you mentioned, those guys were key members of our defense and making plays in big spots that helped us win, 29 games this season. So, it's awesome for them to get those accolades at the tail end of the season to kind of get their individual reward for the work that they put in, whether it's Brady Miller, who's been here for a year, Garrett Harpool has been here for 4. It's rewarding for them and a good group, and, a good way to send them out for the seniors.
And, I kind of want to focus on 2 players really that took home more than 1 award, that being Jesse Pratt, as we mentioned, pitcher of the year. He was also a NCBWA All-Region, as well as Matt Taylor. And then Matt Taylor, who just yesterday was named to the American Baseball Coaches Association All-Region team. What have those 2 seniors meant to you this year?
Well, Jesse Pratt was a basketball and baseball guy at Chemeketa, had a knee injury, and so he ended up missing that other year of baseball over at Chemeketa. So he called us up a couple days before we started fall camp 3 years ago and asked us for an opportunity to come pitch, and he came and worked out for us, and obviously made the team. But it's been fun for us to see a local kid, just again take advantage of opportunities and just really continue to progress over his 3 years in the program. His first 2 years, he got some big outs for us out of the pen, and then this year was able to make the transition to being, one of our starters, and obviously put together a very good season. And then with Matt, coming out of high school, he's a pitcher only down at Concordia down in Irvine. Is there for a year, goes to Lane, puts together a good year offensively, and makes the transition to being a very, very good offensive hitter and a solid, corner outfielder. So both those guys, with the work that they put in, allowed them to gain those accolades and have a lot of success during their time in our program.
And, kind of as we look to the end of this recap, what are you guys looking at towards next year? As we said earlier, you've got 13 seniors that won't be back next year. You've got a huge crop of juniors that'll be moving up to their final season. And then really the only underclassman right now is Brady Miller. What are you guys looking at, A, to revamp your lineup, and then B, looking a little bit towards next season's GNAC schedule? You've got Billings, who in the beginning was picked dead last, went really worst to first when you look at the final standings. But talk a little bit about, first of all, your team for next year and potentially some recruits, not giving away everything.
Yeah, we're excited about who's coming back and the personnel that's coming back, both talent wise and just the people that they are and the way that they go about their business. And then also a quality group that's coming in that Coach Mack and the entire coaching staff has really worked hard to put together. A lot of that was done, in the fall and last summer, and everything gets done so early now. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, we're excited about the combination of what's coming in, what's coming back, and then a couple guys that were in the program this season and had some adversity and were forced to redshirt, with Josh Randall. Probably would have pitched quite a bit for us this year, had a little bit of arm trouble. He's back to healthy. He's throwing pins. He's going to be a quality arm for us next year. And then Justin Wakeham, another high school kid who ended up getting mono right around Christmas time, and so ended up redshirting this year, but he's going to help us out behind the plate. So, when you look at everything, and then some more facility upgrades with getting the clubhouse, we're doing some more projects, moving some more fences as we speak at the field. So facilities, personnel, we continue to move forward, and we're really excited about the future of Western Oregon baseball.
Well, Coach, we wish you good luck next year. Thanks for a great year this year, and fans, just be sure to follow woowolves.com. We'll get a schedule up as soon as we get that available, but we'll see you again next season at the ballpark. But as always, go Wolves!